find someone that's going to be supportive of your journey. And there is always someone that will be. So I think that the fact that a lot of women feel alone and like they don't have anybody that will support their goals, whether that be, an unsupportive spouse or they feel like their friend group isn't super supportive, then find your people who are, because those are the people that are going to help you push to that next level and help you dare to be better.
Hi there, I'm Wendy Rimmelsbacher, and welcome to the podcast show, Dim to Daring. Do you feel like there's something bigger waiting for you, but you're not sure how to make it happen? You're in the right place. I'm here to bring you inspiring stories, powerful insights, and practical strategies to help you reignite your spark, realign with your purpose, and take those bold steps towards the life you were meant to live. Let's dive in, because you're not finished yet. You're just getting started. When I think about people who truly embody living in alignment with their passion and purpose, my guest today is one of the first who comes to mind. I'm so excited to welcome my friend and coach, Bailey Harrison. Bailey is an international fitness and bodybuilding pro bikini competitor. She's a co-owner of BA Nutrition and Fitness Gym, a personal trainer, lifestyle coach, and a competitive athlete. But beyond all the titles, she's someone who walks the walk, helping others build strength, confidence, and a lifestyle they love through fitness and nutrition. Bailey's journey started with playing multiple sports in high school, but it wasn't until college that she discovered her love for weight training. That opened the door to a whole new world where she learned firsthand how the right combination of movement and nutrition creates real transformation. Since 2016, she's been guiding others to do the same, helping them step into their best, most energized selves. Bailey, I know that's just scratching the surface of your journey, and I can't wait to dive in today. Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to Dim to Daring.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be a guest here.
Well, your journey is such an inspiration to me. Can you start by introducing yourself and then sharing what led you to where you are today?
Yeah, so I started my weightlifting journey when I moved to college. And when I first went to the gym, I was only going to a Pilates class. And the Pilates instructor noticed that every time before class, I would go in and head straight to a treadmill and I would run until it was time to go to her class. And one day she approached me and asked me why I wasn't lifting weights. And I told her it was because I didn't know how to lift weights. And she said, well, if you let me help you with your nutrition, I will teach you how to lift weights. Because one of the things that I think she picked out from me was that I was struggling with nutrition. So I was severely under eating and really low body weight, under 100 pounds. And so she saw that and was able to approach me in a way that I didn't feel threatened. And she really opened my world to the power of what not only weightlifting can do, but also the importance of fueling your body correctly. And that sometimes this ideal physique that you're chasing is not always less weight on the scale and less food. Sometimes it's the opposite.
What I love about this life-changing moment when your Pilates instructor confronted you about your workout routine is how vulnerable and honest you were with her. That kind of openness isn't easy, and it's such an important lesson for women who might instinctively try to hide that vulnerability when they don't know how to do life differently. I also want to highlight what you said about recognizing you were severely under-eating and weighing under 100 pounds. That's scary to look back on now, but at that age, so many young women were struggling with under-eating and anorexia, including me. For a lot of us, it was a way to feel some sense of control when life felt overwhelming, even though in the long run, under-eating leads to malnutrition and does not help to build our strength or confidence so that we can move forward to our next best chapter in life.
No, and it absolutely was, about the control, right? Like, some people seek control with other substances, but sometimes abstinence is also a form of seeking control, right?
Right.
And and so, especially, I mean, any major transition in life, there's a lot of uncertainties and things you can't control. And I think that, you know, going to college and family matters, like those are all things that you don't have a lot of control over. And so I really tried to reach out for that control through my food, and it became extreme.
Well, we definitely have this in common. I went through a phase in high school of undereating and working out constantly to keep my weight down. It wasn't because it was trending at the time, which it was. I think for me, it was more of a coping mechanism trying to find control when life felt overwhelming. Even though I had close friends and sports teammates who were going through the same thing, we didn't talk about it. And yet now it's such a relief to have that in the rearview mirror and to have grown beyond it.
Right. I know. But, it's one of those things that sometimes those hard times make you better and more understanding of yourself as a person too, and your habits.
Absolutely. Well, your Pilates coach came along at the right time with all the right mentoring and coaching tools for you to thrive.
She definitely did. She's one of, some people just take one big step into your life and completely turn it 180. And I will forever be grateful for her for that.
For sure. Wow. Can you think of a defining moment? And you might have just described it right there. When you realized your passion could become a full time business.
I think that was definitely a big part in that transition. But I would say that my true confidence in myself and what I was doing didn't really come until I had stepped on the bodybuilding stage. So that was a big goal that same woman also helped me set, because she was a competitor as well. And I went to one of her shows and I saw her get on stage and I was like, man, I want to do that. And I now know, if you asked anybody who knew me when I was in high school, I was really shy. I, didn't like being the center of attention. And so getting up on stage in a bikini was very not what anyone expected from me. But I do think that, like, setting that goal and working all those months leading up to it, and then getting on stage and being like, wow, I did that, right? Like, it gave me this confidence to know that, like, I was heading in the direction that I needed to go.
You must have felt so in alignment. We toss that word around to be in alignment with who you're meant to be. And it's kind of one of those obtuse things to really nail down and to chase. It's something you have to feel and something you have to do, just experience. And then you're in alignment. You certainly stepped right into being aligned with who you were meant to be.
Yeah, that's a really good word, and you're definitely right. It is a feeling, and sometimes it's hard to describe, but it's just like this magnetic pull that's pulling you in that direction.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to say it. Really cool that you found it at such a young age, too, something that you were
Mhm.
driven to do.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to do anything else. And, just working with so many people and watching so many fall in love with the same thing, like coming into our gym and falling in love with weight training when they've never weight trained in their life before. And, learning about nutrition and being like, I never thought I could eat this much and reach my goals. And those are just things that make it all worth it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do many of your customers feel like they aspire to do that, to be on stage, or is it just an inner self confidence they're seeking? How would you phrase that?
Yeah. So I would say that no, most of the people that I work with don't have aspirations to step on a stage, which is totally fine, right? Like, that's not something that everybody needs or wants to do. But I would say that finding confidence in themselves is probably still something that everyone is searching for when they come in, just you don't have to step on stage to find that. Like you can find that just in setting any type of goal in and sticking to what you say you're going to do and reaching it, or being able to lift more weight and get stronger and see, how capable your body physically is.
Yeah. I was asked recently a question that I thought it was really a great question. Like, what do you think is more important, being in shape and working out, or the nutrition side of things?
You truly had to only pick one. You can't leave out the nutrition side, right?
Right.
But at the same time, if you're not lifting and moving, like if you're not having some type of resistance on your body, then you're not going to have healthy muscle to process that food anyway. So you truly can't have one without the other. If you're eating correctly but not moving, you could be what is, not that this is a great term, but like skinny fat, right? Where you don't have a lot of muscle, which can be just as dangerous and unhealthy as someone who is overweight.
Hmm. Well, you stated that so well, because I was stuck in that, because I wanted to say exercise is the most important, but that way you can't exercise well if you aren't eating properly. Then you don't have the energy to work out and to run or whatever it is that a person loves to do. They do go hand in hand. And there is a sense of confidence I know that I've grown in just from feeling better, feeling stronger, and knowing that I can do difficult things, right? I mean, that's all, it's such a mindset sport of lifting weights, or lifestyle, I should say.
Yeah, it's a sport. It can be a sport for sure, but definitely making it, I guess, that sport a part of your lifestyle can be very critical.
Yeah. So tell us about your gym. Like, everybody knows what a gym is, but you have a pretty amazing place to work out. And you've
Well,
also won
thank
the
you.
Best in the West award in the community.
We have.
So what makes BA Nutrition unique?
So we're unique in quite a few ways. So we would be what is probably termed as more of a functional gym. We do have some machines and cables, but we're definitely more free weight based. The other thing that makes us very unique is that we have a team of trainers that it's their full-time job. So you walk into most gyms, you are going to find that they are staffed with front desk people who are rotating often. And they are also staffed with trainers that may be there for 1 or 2 months, or it's their part-time job while they're going to school. That is not what you're going to find in BA. You are going to find people who they live and breathe it, right? So this is our only job. And Travis trains people Monday through Friday. Amanda does small group training, and she's also a physical therapist in our gym, which is something else that a lot of gyms in the Valley don't have. And then I do more one-on-one training. I do some groups as well, and then the nutrition coaching as well. And that's definitely not something you're going to find in the Valley in any of the gyms.
That's such a big deal. As someone who's been a part of your small group weight training sessions, I can really see value in having that consistency with the trainers. In fact, I have a friend who signed up with a gym recently in another town, and they don't have any trainers right now. Somebody had just quit, and so she doesn't know what to do, and she's in a little bit of a bind. But when I come into your gym, it's so fun to see the small groups interacting, connecting, and having fun while being encouraged to power through the workouts. A lot of the women feel more comfortable and motivated working out in a group setting. You can just tell by watching them. And what I love is how that environment naturally builds confidence. When you show up consistently, push yourself, and see progress, whether it's lifting heavy weights or simply feeling stronger, it's amazing how that confidence carries over into other parts of your life. And it's great that your gym offers so many options, whether it's group training, one-on-one sessions, or even just a standard gym membership for those who want to work out on their own. Oh, and I also have to mention that you also have a sauna available for members, which is such a nice bonus, especially on a cold day, but also just for recovery and relaxation and loosening those muscles up.
Yeah, we do have an infrared sauna, and I really can't say enough. We have some really awesome members. Like if you come into our gym and you don't know how to, adjust one of the equipment, any one of our members are more than happy to jump in and help people. And it's just, we've really come to create an awesome community where everybody's super supportive. And we have a lot of different types of athletes that come and train at our gym, from like strongman to power lifters to, bodybuilders, and everybody's cheering each other on, right? We know when this person has a competition coming up or this person has a fight coming up, and there's a lot of camaraderie.
Yeah, I've been amazed at the variety of sports and athletes that you train and that you have as members in your gym. It's really inspiring for such a small community here. I've gotten to take advantage of your online workout courses, and I just love that. I miss seeing you, and so I also have that. I have that extra added benefit of the weigh-in once a month, just to check and see if my muscle mass is growing, if my fat's shrinking, and all the things are lining up appropriately. And I look forward to that because it's a good time to just check in with you and ask questions. But tell us if you would, tell my community a little bit about your online presence.
Yeah, so I have a coaching app that I have clients who are just online, and I have some, even my ones that are in person will have an account in my coaching app, so that I can create and upload workouts in there, and they can go into their account, go into their calendar, and see what workouts scheduled for the day. And all of the exercises in their workout is video linked, and I put how many reps and sets I want them to do. And there's also a place to record their weights that they're using and how many reps they do, so that then when they go and do that workout the next week, they're able to see what they used and if we're progressing. And so that's a really good way for me as a coach to be able to go into their account and see that even though I don't see this person every day, I can see that they're making progress with the workouts that we're programming. But it's also super flexible too. So if I have somebody who is doing workouts at home, they can send me their pictures of the equipment that they have, and I can create those workouts to fit with what they have available to them.
That's fantastic. So what's cool about it is that you don't have to live in this area to take advantage of all your skills and talents and coaching. Mm-hmm. So this is just a great way for anybody, any of our listeners, to connect with you and just get some great results and start building some strength and confidence for themselves.
Yeah, and I have a lot of people that, aren't local here that just like to have their workouts programmed for them, right? Like it's something that they don't have to think about. They can and if they need something changed out, I can do it for them. I've even had some people have their first, do a couple training sessions through Zoom if they just need someone to get them started, and then they can finish it on their own. It's really finding what form of accountability works for you and to keep going, because there's nothing wrong with having a coach. Some people they find this stigma with oh, I don't need a coach, right?
Right.
But even the best athletes in the world have multiple coaches, and it's because they want to be better. So if you have the goal of wanting to be better, then maybe you should hire a coach to help you get to that next level.
I couldn't agree more. It's so important to have a coach to hold you accountable. I mean, I'm a person that I hold myself accountable a lot. I don't know that that's a reason I think I haven't had coaches, but I was totally wrong in thinking that way, because a coach can push you more and inspire you and get you to move further faster. Like I might get there
Yes,
on my own, but I can get there faster with the help of a coach.
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I do feel like this is a big component of anybody wanting to be and grow and do more in their lives, to aspire to be more. It starts with how you feel about yourself, your body, what you eat, and all those things. For me, I feel like I want women to feel strong, energized, and in control of their health. And many of them don't know where to start. What's one simple shift they could make today?
One simple shift would be to take an honest look at what your routines are right now. And that could be writing down every single thing you put in your mouth and, maybe tracking your steps for a week and how much movement are you getting? Because I think that especially right before we make changes, we make a lot of excuses. And we tell ourselves a lot of little lies like, oh, my food wasn't that bad. I get a lot of people that will come in for a first consult and I'll be like, okay, tell me what you ate yesterday. And I would say that 80% of people will say, well, yesterday wasn't a good day. but but yesterday is like that most likely it was an average day for most people. So that day that wasn't your normal day is probably what your food looks like 90% of the time.
Oh, wow. I can imagine a lot of people cringing at the thought of having to admit that what they ate yesterday, especially if portion sizes or nutrition weren't exactly on point. It's true, though, eating well takes effort and planning and resistance. But your question really makes them stop and think, which is powerful. Hopefully, it inspires them to start tracking what they eat tomorrow.
Yeah, because I mean, having that knowledge of what you're actually consuming, that's where you can change things. If you're just always up in your head, our brains are not good at keeping track of things and, estimating totals. That's just, there's a lot of human error to that. So if you can get a little more nitty gritty, which I know everybody is not always excited to, write down their food and to track it, but it doesn't have to be a forever thing for some people, but you do have to have the knowledge of what's in the food that you're putting in your body.
Oh, I can't agree more with that. I'm going to tell on myself a little bit because I feel like I've always been a pretty healthy eater until I'm not. And not, I used to like I was just pretty regimented on what I'd eat, except for I'd come home from work and I needed to work out. That was my workout time. I had to get rid of stress, and so that's why it was appropriately placed the minute I came home from work. But on my way out to the treadmill or out for a run on the levee, I mostly did cardio. And I would stop by the chip drawer in our kitchen and grab the artichoke dip out of the refrigerator and scarf down a few dips into the artichoke dip. And then I would head out to run. And it was so counterintuitive.
Right,
I
right.
don't buy the
You were hungry.
I was, and I don't even buy those things anymore. They're just not good to have in the house.
Right. And you probably did need the fuel. We could have just been picking something different.
Exactly. But that was quick and easy. And I think that's a lot of our excuses when you're working and trying to have work-life balance. I don't know that you really can have a balance, but we can always strive to make it better, especially for the
Yeah.
ambitious woman that's trying to do it all. It can often just feel totally out of reach. Do you have a perspective on balance, and how do you coach your clients to prioritize their own self-care, workouts, and nutrition when their lives are busy?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I do think that there are different seasons in life where different things become more of a priority than others. But if you can create safeguards and habits that are ingrained, then you won't be turning towards things that you shouldn't. So, just like you were talking about, like not keeping the chips in the house. Well, if you only have good things in your house to eat, then you won't be turning to things you shouldn't. And not everybody can do that either. Because if you have kids, you're going to have snacks for them. But have fallback meals, right? Like when things get busy, have something that you can always have on hand so that you're not making excuses. Because I know that everybody seeks that work-life balance, but I don't really think that exists.
I don't either, but it's not really achievable. In maybe if you look at the whole week as as a whole, the 7 days, maybe you can get some balance out of adding the weekend in there. But when you're working, and there isn't much time for
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah. And so then it does come down to priorities and like where you need to set that time and block out that space for you. My schedule is very time blocked. I'm really big on that. And, you know, even down to like every 30 minutes, having yourself like, this is the task right now. And you have to really just learn how to focus in. So, like, if you are going to work out in the morning before you go to work, what time are you going to go out there? Right? Like, set that time, put it in your calendar because that workout is just as important as that work meeting that you have to go to later.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the big mindset shift point is recognizing that you are worth it and be honoring that time every day for your workout. Or maybe it's for the food prep so that you're grabbing healthy things because they're available and cut up and cooked and all those things. But having that hour, you do need to get outside, get some fresh air, or, just sweat in the gym or something and do it for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gosh, well, I love talking about bold moves. Can you share a time when you took a daring leap, even when it felt uncertain, and what did it open up for you?
Oh man, I would say probably the biggest bold leap in my life that I have taken would be opening our gym with Amanda. I mean, we started from ground zero. We signed a lease and took out a loan to buy a bunch of equipment and hoped that people would sign up for our gym. Like that is basically, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money invested in there and in the beginning it is scary because you worry, is this gonna work out? Is it gonna pay off? Are people gonna be as excited about this as we are? And thankfully it did work out, but even if it didn't at this point, it was still worth it because we've been able to connect with so many people and met so many amazing people on their own journey, and it's definitely worth it.
That is a huge leap of faith. But again, it goes back to the passion and believing in yourself and betting on yourself that you won't let it fail because it's just a part of you. And look what you built. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. It's sometimes, I do just think about it, and it's crazy to think about what it's grown into and how far we've come from the little tiny space we rented to now owning a place that's twice the size. It's pretty surreal.
Yeah, and I love it when I pull in there and that parking lot is full. Usually I don't think from that
Oh,
perspective, but I just know how much you've put into it and how great that place is. I mean, people are there to work out. It's not, I don't know, they're just so, I can just tell the intention people have when they come in there. And like you said, they're probably on that schedule. They block time out and it's get in there, do what you need to do, and then leave with that sense of peace that you took care of yourself for the day.
yeah. Yeah, and it's fun to own a place that people can use as their escape, right?
Yes.
Like people come into the gym to forget about the hard day or the bad work and just better themselves. This is their time for them and to reach their own goals, and that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. That's so important. Everyone needs a safe place to focus on their goals and the things that make them feel their best. It's so powerful. We show up better for ourselves and others when we allow time for our workouts and self care. And as I always say, self care isn't selfish. And working out isn't just about looking stronger, it's about feeling stronger. That confidence you build when you push yourself, like when you hit a personal best or when you simply show up for yourself, it carries over into every aspect of your life. So, to the women listening who know they're meant for more and are ready to elevate their workout habits, take a step today to stop shrinking and playing small. Start blocking out time for yourself, whether it's at a gym or at your home or even a walk outside. Try out some different gyms and even some online options like Bailey offers until you find one that feels right and makes you feel supported. Building that inner and outer strength is a game changer. Oh, and also know that you probably won't feel comfortable the first time you go to the gym, but it will get easier and better as you show up time and time again. Bailey, knowing that the women listening today are growth-minded and ambitious, what's one thought you would leave with them today?
Find someone that's going to be supportive of your journey. And there is always someone that will be. So I think that the fact that a lot of women feel alone and like they don't have anybody that will support their goals, whether that be, an unsupportive spouse or they feel like their friend group isn't super supportive, then find your people who are, because those are the people that are going to help you push to that next level and help you dare to be better.
Oh my gosh. Well said. I'm a firm believer in that. It's defining your inner circle and making sure they're positive people that believe in you and inspire you to do what you need to do instead of hold you back and shrink in life. We don't need our people around us to be shrinking.
No, only growth.
That's right. Just growth. Okay, so this is a question that I'll be asking all the people I interview on this Dim to Daring podcast. What's your most recent daring step you took, big or small, and what did it open up for you? It could be something coming up, or it could be something that you've already witnessed.
I think my biggest daring step coming forward will be to get up on the pro stage and run my first true pro season with the IFBB. It's a very tough division, and when you think about the core of what we're doing, we're getting on stage to be judged in a bikini, and that can take a lot of mental toll if you don't go into it with the right mindset and know that this is a very tough sport and it's one that can take a lot of time to build up to the top. But I do have this belief that I can get to my goals. It just might take a little bit more time than I would maybe like it to.
Well, I have faith in you. You've done the hard work. You're doing the hard work and you look amazing. And there aren't too many women who would put themselves out there on that stage in a bikini. So, you've got to be like less than 1% of the population. But I know that all the work you do is so good for your body. And I wish you the best in that competition.
Thank you. Your support truly means the world to me.
You're welcome. Did you have any questions for me?
I do have a question for you. What is the most daring thing you've done recently?
This podcast, I haven't actually launched it yet, and it's coming out very soon as we record this today. But it's been a lot. Just like any big thing any of us take on, there's always so many more parts to it than you can imagine. And that probably is a good thing, because if you could see all of the complicating factors and different pieces that one goal or dream might entail, we probably wouldn't start down that path. And so, this podcasting has been quite a journey already. And I'm looking so forward to talking to more people just like you, Bailey, who inspire me and can inspire this community of women to just promote them to be the best that they can be and stop holding themselves back, because it is a choice. on whether we want to live our lives fully or stay in our status quo, dim situations. I just hope to encourage people to step out more often.
Well, you are doing just that. And I can't wait to hear all the amazing women you have on here.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate your support. So thank you for joining me today, Bailey. And to all our listeners, be sure to check out Bailey's social media and the incredible resources she offers for anyone looking to transform their fitness and confidence. As always, remember, don't let anything dim your light. It's time to go from dim to daring. Thank you so much for spending time with me and Bailey today. It truly means the world that you tuned in. I can't wait to meet you back here for the next episode. Until then, keep daring, keep growing, and keep shining. And be sure to check the show notes for links and resources to connect with Bailey and myself. Remember to take daring steps to shed your dimness and ignite your full potential. Thank you so much for joining me today on Dim to Daring. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you subscribed, shared it with a friend, or left a review. It helps more women just like you discover the show. Remember, you're not finished yet, you're just getting started. Until next time, keep daring to grow and shine.